This is hardcore Minecraft. One life, and every mistake actually matters. But this time, I'm not just trying to survive. I'm pushing myself to build bigger, risk more, and create the most detailed, ambitious builds I've ever made. If I die, it all ends. So let's see how far this world can really go. Okay, so this is it. Okay, let's get some wood. Let's craft the basic tools. So while I was looking for a place to build my base, I came across a shipwreck, and it was stacked with iron. Then I went after the buried treasure map I found in the ship, and it ended up having even more iron and a ton of gold. Alright, so we just stumbled upon a village. First thing I did was grab all the bookshelves and loot everything I could. But I left the iron golem alone. No need to deal with it since I already have a ton of iron. I grabbed some wheat too. Gonna need that for food. Next, I crafted all my iron tools and even made some iron leggings. Then I hunted some cherries for backup food. And while I was doing that, I stumbled upon another village. I grabbed some coal first, then went deeper into the cave, but it turned out to be a dead end with only one piece of iron. After leaving the cave, I kept traveling and eventually found an igloo. I didn't heal the villager there, but, well, I couldn't resist sneaking a little loot. I went iron mining. After that, I went and looted another village. Then it was time to start mining for diamonds on stream. Shout out to everyone who was there watching. After that, I stumbled upon a zombie mob spawner. I made sure to jot down the coordinates so I can come back later and turn it into a farm. After putting torches on the spawner to keep it safe, I went back to hunting diamonds. While I was at it, I decided to craft a diamond pickaxe and grab some obsidian too. After collecting all the diamonds, I decided to use the diamond horse armor and saddle I found from the mob spawner and tamed my first pet. The most liked comment will get to name the horse, so make sure to drop your suggestions. With the obsidian, I decided to make another portal. When I loaded into the nether, the fortress was practically right in front of it, just a few blocks away. I quickly built dirt walls around the portal and then strip mined my way to the fortress. Carefully staying just above the spawner because, honestly, I was a little scared. I grabbed enough blaze rods to make eyes of ender. But we still needed more, so I spent the next few hours trading with villagers for emeralds and eyes to get everything we needed. I ran out of wood and needed sticks for trading emeralds, so I went out to do some wood mining. Finally, we were able to buy enough ender pearls to craft the eyes of ender. I set out to search for the stronghold, and when I found it, I didn't bother looting anything. I was just focused on finding the end portal. Alright, we're at the end. First, I took out the ender dragon's healing crystals. Now it's finally time to attack. Here we go. That's it. It's done for. And yeah, an Enderman attacked me in the middle of all that. I almost didn't make it. Next, I went straight for the elytra, so I started hunting for an end city with the ship. But during the hunt, I had a bit of an incident. I threw an ender pearl without hesitation, and it landed on a wall. I fell straight into the void, but luckily I managed to throw another pearl and landed safely back on solid ground. Then I walked for a bit, and suddenly, an end ship rendered in. I carefully built up to it. I didn't want to risk going inside the whole thing. I approached from underneath to avoid most of the shulkers and looted the chests. But the prize was the elytra itself. I flew through the air for the first time with the elytra and looted the end city. After that, I went on a bit of a spree, exploring and grabbing everything I could find. After that, I officially re-entered the portal and watched the credits roll. We had officially beaten the game, but now the real adventure begins. It's time to build our base. Because I broke my bed before going into the portal, I have to travel all the way back home by boat. I don't have fireworks to fly with the elytra yet, so it's going to be a long journey. I found some sugarcane and crafted paper, then used my gunpowder to make some fireworks. No more long boat rides for us. We can finally fly with the elytra. Once I got back home, I mined all the ores I had collected using a silk touch pickaxe. After mining, I went to scout the area where I want to build my base. As you can see, it's a massive mountain, and right around the middle is where I want to put my house and farm. I'm planning a small town too, but that'll be for another episode. This is going to be our first big project. By around episode 3, I want it to be ready. The build will stretch all the way down to the ocean with a dock. Kind of like my last world, though it'll probably take a few weeks. All right, let's get started with terraforming. Okay, as you can see, I'm starting to shape the hills here. This is going to take a while, but I want the terrain to feel natural and really fit the base we're building. I'm carving out slopes, leveling some areas, and making sure there's room for the house, farm, and eventually the small town. It's a lot of work, but it's going to look amazing once it's all done. All right, I started building the house, and, well, when it was done, it looked absolutely terrible. Honestly, I'm going to tear it down soon and start fresh. It's just not working with the base design I have in mind. Okay, I started working on a storage barn because I have shulker boxes everywhere. And honestly, I have no idea where all my stone and wood went. This barn is going to make everything so much easier to organize. When it was finished, it looked perfect, unlike the other build. I used stripped birch wood for the walls and acacia wood for the orange roof. It really makes the barn stand out. As you can see, I've been working on the outside of the barn, and it's looking really great. But now it's time to tackle the inside. It currently just has a grass floor, so it definitely needs some work. So yeah, I need some sand for glass. All right, the barn interior is finally done. I added chests with item frames so I can organize my stones and woods. Even with this setup, I can already tell I'm going to need a huge chest room eventually. So I'm working on the spot for the waterfall, and I'm thinking about maybe putting some houses around it. Though I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see how it turns out once I start building. All right, I'm starting to build the farm area now. Time to get some crops planted and start bringing this part of the base to life. So I went ahead and built a quick and simple sheep and cow farm. It's nothing too big yet, just enough to get a steady supply of wool and food. But it's a start. I'm keeping it small for now so I can focus on expanding the rest of the base. But later, I definitely want to make it way bigger and more organized. So the mountain farm area is a bit small right now. It's kind of low-key cramped for what I have in mind. I'm currently expanding it by about 15 or 20 blocks to give myself more room for crops, animal pens, and pathways. This way I can really make it a proper farm that fits the scale of the base, and it won't feel so tight once I start adding more features. As As you can see, I'm done with most of the terraforming. All of that cobblestone over there is going to be where the farms will go. On the other side, I'm planning to build a village, but that's for another episode. In between the two mountains, I want to create a grand kingdom gate, something that feels like you're entering a magical kingdom. Honestly, that might be a bit too ambitious for me right now with my current gear, but it's definitely something I want to aim for in the future. I'm turning this entire farm area into a wheat farm. I want it to be huge, enough to supply food for the whole base and any future projects. Right now, I'm laying out the plots and making sure everything is evenly spaced so it looks organized. Later, I'll add irrigation paths and maybe even some decorative touches to make it feel like a proper functioning farm. This isn't just about utility, it's about making the area look good too. Alright, the farm is finally done, and the house and storage barn are all finished too. Everything is starting to come together nicely. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. I want to give a huge thank you to everyone who commented and supported me along the way, and a big thank you to all of you for making it this far into the video. Don't forget, the most liked comment will get to name the horse, so make sure you drop your suggestions down below. I can't wait to see what you come up with.